Thank you, Clyde, and welcome to all. On behalf of the Provost's Office, my name is Susana Valdovinos. I am the Director of Academic Personnel, and I am going to talk with you about the Provost's Office responses. First of all, I commend you for your participation in this presentation. It is a testament to your interest in having a safe campus. The responses that I'm going to talk about are the responses of SafeZone Ally faculty members, instructors, and GTAs, but of course students need to be aware of their environment as well. Anticipating what may happen, what could happen, what has happened in other campuses is going to be our best approach, our best strategy to respond to threats on campus. So I would encourage you to familiarize yourselves with your teaching environment or learning environment, to know the physical aspects of the room, where the exits are, and to know what line of egress you would have to take should an emergency occur, you needed to evacuate the classroom. Include a statement in your syllabi. Those of you who are instructors or faculty members, include a statement in your syllabi that talks about the standards of conduct, the expectations that you have of your students. We have in the Provost website several samples of statements. The statement that I am referring to is a statement defining expectations for classroom conduct. And what this statement does basically is incorporate by reference the student conduct code in your classroom environment. There are also guidelines that the Provost's website has for faculty members regarding student conduct in instructional settings and in online courses and discussions. And these guidelines are also can be found in the Provost's website, and we have the sample of what that screen looks like. Basically, you as the instructor, as the faculty member, you are in charge of your classroom behavior, and you can set the guidelines, the expectations of the behavior you want to see your students, and of course you want to model for your students. That is very important. That is something that if you read those standards, if you read those guidelines, you will see that, for example, you have the authority to decide how students are going to conduct themselves in class. There are some faculty members who want to encourage participation that is free, but of course setting, for example, certain standards, such as keeping a mind that's open, accepting, being respectful of the ideas of others, even if you disagree or if others disagree with those ideas. So by modeling and by setting the standards of conduct that you expect in your classroom, the probability of having a disruptive situation is going to be less likely, because you are anticipating, you are pretty much diffusing a situation even before it happens, and that is very important. If there is a situation when a student becomes disruptive in the classroom, many reasons why that could happen. Ideally, you will be able to immediately take charge of the situation. If necessary, ask the student to leave the classroom. If you need assistance, of course, you should be prepared to get assistance, even if it involves, for example, calling the police in a situation that, of course, calls for it. Have a discussion with the student, ideally in private, but keep notes of your discussion, what was said. Being respectful, dignified, compassionate is always important, because there are many medical reasons why students may become disruptive. There might be emotional issues that the student is personally dealing with that you might want to very carefully approach. Use campus resources, such as, for example, telling the student about the university counseling services counseling center, and if appropriate, ask the student if or she wishes to be accompanied to the university counseling center. So addressing the possible situations that cause the student to become disruptive is going to be a necessary next step. There are students who may have disabilities who may cause a situation in the classroom, and that's something that you want to make sure that those students are aware of the disability support services that this campus offers and be able to refer the student to those services. Now, what happens if there is threatening behavior in the classroom? You're probably going to want to direct the student to leave the classroom for the remainder of the period. There are situations that would warrant, for example, interrupting class and leaving the classroom. You might have to take the student to an appropriate resource, call the police, or something that is going to cause you to terminate the class, that particular class period, and deal with the situation. Similarly, there are times when online discussions, now that many of us use online resources, that online discussions may include a student who is disrupting the discussion. And the same strategies apply. In other words, you may ask the student to leave the discussion. You may ask that the student be taken away his privilege or her privilege of participating in those discussions. And those are some of the things that you can do. Now, I don't know how to. Something that people sometimes claim in disrupting a classroom, sometimes, for example, using violent language in the classroom, people allege that they have an academic freedom or a freedom of speech right to express themselves in that manner. And again, remember that when you are in charge of your classroom, you have authority to set the framework for the discussion in the classroom. And yes, people have freedom of speech and may express themselves, but that expression should not hurt another person in the classroom or cause disruption in the classroom. Something that you need to always keep in mind when you are dealing with setting parameters of conduct and making sure that everybody adheres to those is to be consistent in how you apply the rules and make sure that all students are treated in a similar manner and that the rules are applied equally to all, of course, depending on the situation. The Provost's office also offers additional faculty development opportunities to deal with particular topics. And one of those opportunities is the first Tuesday roundtables, where we have topics of interest to faculty. And we have had, for example, dealing with threats on campus or safety on campus as one of the topics. But there are many topics that help faculty members and instructors have a better understanding of the management of their classroom and teach how to deal with situations in particular. We have workshops, we have lectures, we have orientation for new faculty members, and of course my office is there, a resource for faculty members who may be dealing with a particular situation, have concerns about a student or group of students in their classroom, and may want to talk about that before they take action.